Hey guys, thank you for joining us. You're going to be listening to my voice today simply because last night I noticed that the umpire had music going on. I asked him to turn it down so that way when I upload to YouTube, if I would not get a copyright strike or anything like that. Unfortunately, he declined to turn off the music. So instead of hearing the sound of the game itself, you're going to be hearing my voice, my commentary. Uh, I've always wanted to try something like this out. I've never had a chance because it does take a little bit of work and extra work and effort. But here I am, going to give it a go, and hopefully you enjoy the commentary of the game throughout this episode, and we'll kick it off. First batter, I noticed that he was playing last week. We played against him. I think he was filling in for the other team. But he's a good shortstop for pitch slappers. So here we go. First pitch. Ooh, out by our shortstop, Robbie. So always good. Maybe this was a good sign for us. So second batter comes up. So foul ball. Tracy, our catcher, doing a good job. At this point, I'm still trying to get used to the balls. Early in the game, trying to find my rhythm. Sometimes I don't think I struggle too much with that, but it is kind of difficult to kind of get in the groove of things and the flow of the game. Shortstop to first, which is a safe. I think it was a safe. Seeing it in real time. Just kind of got to go with the call. So switching over to the girls' ball in this league, there's a difference between a girl ball and a guy ball. Depending on the batter, if it's a girl, you use a girl ball. Guy, you use a guy ball. First pitch. I always struggle with the first pitch going from guy to girl or girl to guy simply because the balls are different. Guys a little bit higher. Oh, out. Throw to first, double play. It's the end of the first inning. So trying to on a good note. So that's always good. Ernest coming out to the plate. He's a good top of the lineup guy. Solid bat. This pitcher is kind of good. If he has good control of his pitches, we've played against him and run across his team many times, so we kind of know what he's got. So good hit by Ernest out to left field. Goes for three. Goes third. Hold him up. I think we could have made it to home plate, but Bird at being the third base coach decided to stop him. I think if you were able to hear the games, the noises, everybody's telling to go home. But this is me, home plate, need to get low. I didn't like that swing, but went up, got safely home, got lucky on the drop. So sometimes that's the way things go. The sun was in my eyes. If you see to the left, the sun's first baseman will get the sun in the eyes. I have sun in my eyes as well. So going to second, got the sun in my eyes. Great day for softball though. Diana up. At this point, I couldn't really see. I just heard the noises, went back. You never know how these things go, so I had to go out just in case the ball got dropped. So Robbie, left-handed batter, good bat. Pops it up. 2 outs as well. I think he's upset as well. I think the pitcher was throwing these balls that were kind of with the backspin. With backspin, I think when you hit it, it just pops up naturally, pops up. So that's one of the things that we needed to kind of account for. I don't think nobody called it out during the game, but Tracy, this is her first game of the season. She's been out, so joining us. So we're kind of proud of her coming back and happy to have her back on the roster. Hits it and out. So, but again, those hits are good because for the pitcher, it's a hard throw, regardless of how hard or how hard or soft the ball's hit. Still got a ways to throw it, but pitchers do their best. And in that case, good throw by the pitcher, out. Top of the second, so facing the pitcher. I'm not trying to do anything fancy this time. Well, maybe I was. I don't know. I got a good strike on him. Always feels good as a pitcher whenever they swing and strike, and always good. Always a good way to start off the game. I felt I could have gotten that one safe. Uh, has a lot of energy right now. I think during the course of the game he kind of slows down, but I felt I could have done a little bit more. Kind of no man's land. So it's early in the game, so we'll see. Foul ball, point towards Nancy and Agustina. I think he's trying to pull to the right field. Uh, if he can pull to the right, that means he can control where the ball goes. I, as a pitcher, need to pitch a little bit more on the inside so he doesn't hit it where he wants to. Recover that fumble, toss it. Oh, drops it. So I think this was a telltale sign of how the night was going to go. A drop by Tim on first. So didn't really think too much of it, just a drop. Again, usually struggle with the first pitch, going from guy to girl or girl to guy. So I tried to make a play on this one, and I couldn't make it. Not really too upset, but I was thinking to myself I should get in better shape to try to make maybe it can be lighter on my feet. I know last week Bird at third made a play like that, so definitely in our range. Oh, hits it between third and short. Little drop by Chris in the outfield or fumbled, but I don't think it could prevented that run. I think at this point I'm thinking, just one run, nothing too bad. No outs. Hits it in Nancy, out in left center, misses it. I think Ernest has to come back and help. Throws it a second and then another run in. Regardless, I think everybody has to move in those in those plays. Everybody has to react to where the ball goes and cover each other. Ernest did a really good job of covering for Nancy when it got slightly past her, so nothing too bad in that case. Again, hits it between short and third. Chris gets it, scoops it, 1 run scored in, but at this point we're just trying to stop the bleeding, so trying to stop the bleeding. So first pitch, swinging a strike. Again, with these female girl batters, I try not to do something fancy. It's a co-ed, try to keep it casual and friendly. I got a strikeout. Again, I'm not putting any spin on it. I'm not trying to throw it on the corners or anything like that. I usually save that for the guys, but for the girls, they usually just try to throw it down the middle, see what they can do, and just try to make a good experience and a good playing experience for everybody. Goes to Robbie. Out. I think Diane just holds it. I don't think she could have gone the guy at first. The guy was a fast runner, so I think she did a smart play, just holding it, not making any errors. Two outs. See, I noticed that he was a little bit up front, so tried throwing the back line, and I think he screwed a little bit back, so it made it a little bit more difficult for me to find a good placement for this. Ooh. Robbie drops it, recovers, throws a second, got safe. They call these like bang bang plays, I thought it was an out, but it is what it is. Runner goes, or batter goes, next batter. Again, 2 guys and 1 girl. Usually what we see. They're a little bit low, but I think it hit the base. Too sure what he called. Hits it, grab it, easy toss first, out. Got out of there alive. So just 3 runs, which is always good. You don't want to allow more, but doing our best. Next up is Chris. He's always very excited to hit. Sometimes goes to practice on Fridays, goes to the batting cages with me. Always enjoys a good hit. So also great runner. So first pitch, here comes. I think that was a ball he called. Oh, hits it short, takes a good bounce. Good reach by the girl, called out. I sometimes don't agree with his calls, but got to call something. So I do umpire, so I know I need to call something as well. So it's got to make the most of it. Good reach by the girl, good recovery by shortstop, but unfortunately, just a tad, half a second too slow for Chris. Tim's out on the, he's a good bat, good hitter, a lot of power, plays first, tall guy, powerful guy. Waiting for his pitches, so it's always good. Got to be patient. But I think the pitcher still is trying to find his rhythm as well. I think we're the second. Hits it up. and out. That girl was the first baseman was a little too excited about it, but it's softball. It would be excited for our player too. So here goes Agostina. Plays right field. Good eye. Good eye. And I think this pitcher's also trying to do a little bit of trickery. I wouldn't say trickery, but he's throwing his backspin and his curveballs towards the girl. But I don't agree with it, but whatever. Oh, that's a catch. Again, lucky catches. I wouldn't say lucky catches, but I think luck goes towards the team right now. Kind of a telltale sign of what was gonna come. Top of the third coming up, so see the pitcher. No, not the pitcher, the shortstop. So no, he's a good bat. Trying to see where he's positioned himself in the batting stance. He's a little bit out, so try to pitch away from him. Robbie made a mad dash for that one. I think I'm talking to Chris, or maybe I'm just looking at his direction. Hits it, hits it over to left field. Chris grabs it, throws it into our cutoff, Robbie. Good single for the batter. Good play by Chris. Keep it in front of him. Always tell players, just keep it in front of you. Just don't let it get behind you. We should be good. Again, a hit that way, just always good to stop it. Oh, and this one, I knew I couldn't grab it and throw it at first, so I just let it roll. I saw that it was going out, so I just let it let it spin out and get foul ball. So I think a good heads up by me. So just kind of making sure that take advantage of any opportunities that get our way. Pop up. Oh, okay. So I didn't like that in this particular case. I heard the opposing team yell to Tracy to drop it at the last second. She dropped it. Asked the umpire if it's unsportsmanlike conduct. So he says no. I was like, all right, just kind of making sure. It's supposed to be friendly. Uh, Hits it a short, takes a good bounce on Robbie. Batter out or runner out on second. So I think I hit Robbie on the chest. The ground's kind of rough today, so kind of bouncy. I let it go on that one. Runner out on second on first, double play. I think in this case I let the ball go. I didn't try to make a play on it, knowing that Diana was right there. Great play by Diana, throwing it to Robbie at second, and then Robbie getting that out at first as well. And this one, I went ahead and asked the umpire if he could turn it down. He said he wouldn't. So, it is what it is. Bottom of the third, so we'll see how it goes. First pitch, it's ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. So I think Bird is waiting for a good pitch. See him throw a curveball. 3 balls, 1 strike. So waiting on that third pitch. So it's always good to be patient. I don't think Bird liked that particular pitch. So a little bit off to the side. That's fine. Full count. So yeah, it seemed a little low on that one. So give the ump a little business before he leaves, but that's okay. So 1 out. So here comes my sister Nancy. Plays catcher and left field or left center as well. So hits it to pitcher, throws it out. So the thing about those plays, even though it's a soft hit, those are really hard. That's a really hard throw as well from the pitcher because you gotta, just gotta make sure that it connects all the way to first. Sometimes you can get too excited and overthrow it, or just doesn't come off way because you're too excited and just you don't have your feet set. But comes Ernest. That was kind of high. I personally don't like these high balls. It has to be between like 6 feet and 12 feet. So it's kind of hard to gauge if they're too high or not, but we have to live with them. Oh, that one's a halo. Halo means that, we try to protect the pitcher. If it hits towards the pitcher, it's considered an automatic out. In this case, it happened. It's going to be at the top of the fourth, so just particular pitcher just trying to hits it off to left center. I think Nancy has a play, and it just continues to roll off, trying to chase it. So I go to home just to try to cover home. Again, no plays. He's running full speed, makes it. It's quite okay. Next batter, so just kind of move on. So hits it, left field, fair ball. So it just kind of rolls over to Agostina. Does a good job of throwing it to second to Robbie, shortstop Robbie. So um, asks for the girl ball. So goes over. At this point, I'm not too sure what I'm feeling. Kind of excited, kind of, we can't catch a break in this particular game. Again, first pitch is always a little bit difficult for me whenever I switch from female to guy or guy to girl, simply because I'm adjusting to the ball. Hits it off, drops in front of Ernest. Ernest gets it, throws it to Robbie. Call time. So again, kept it in front of him. That's all we can ask for our players. And that one, the guy just threw it. I wasn't even ready for. I mean, I was ready, but he threw it like way across from me. So whatever. So I didn't think too much about that particular throw, but it just sucks. Bubble, here goes Tracy. uh, you cannot catch it off the. You can't catch it off the particular fence. It always looks cool when you do that, but once it's a fence, it's a foul ball. So hits it off to left center, and out, tagged. So 1 run score. So 1 out. We'll take it. Ernest does a good job of being in the outfield. I'm not too sure where these guys were hitting or how we could have adjusted ourselves, but we're trying to adjust and fly as well. So, ooh, gets it off to third base. I think at this point I tell Ernest, no, not Ernest. I tell Bird and Chris that he's trying to hook it to the left field. So I think looking back, I might have said it already, but maybe that's what I was thinking. Look over at Bird where he's at. Goes to this routine play and we mess it up. Fortunate. I think Robbie. I don't know. It wasn't too high. It wasn't. I think it was just a little bit too high for Diana. Uh, again, these routine plays that you're supposed to just kind of throw, whether that be the pitcher to first base or shortstop to second. As routine as they are, sometimes they just don't work that way. That's fine. Goes another one. Goes to third. He drops it again. So that's two particular drops in a row. I'm not too sure what I was thinking at this point. Just kind of couldn't catch a break. Two routine plays, couldn't do it correctly. That's the way it goes sometimes, but it's just kind of unfortunate that none of these, uh, plays were going our way. So on to the next batter. Swings. I was feeling pretty good about my pitching in this particular case. I mean, the batting is batting, but as far as my pitching is concerned, I think I was having a pretty decent game as far as like location and trying to get some of the strikes. A little bit inside, so I think I was catching him that he was crowding the plate just a little bit, so I'm trying to get him on the inside. Goes to Bird. Bird misses. Just kind of a hard bounce. 2 runs come in. Again, these kind of routine plays, whether that be fielding or throwing or catching or whatever the case could be, it was just kind of frustrating just to see it unravel. Might have been like 3 bats in a row. Goes to Chris. Keeps it in front of him. Chris throws it in. Just kind of it goes back to me again. Single. That's going to be a single. We'll take that all day. But next batter. Swing and a miss. Again, with these, with the guys, I usually go a little bit tougher with the guys. I'm not trying to do too much with female batters. I know it's co-ed, trying to be competitive, but at the same time, just trying to be friendly as well. So I wasn't doing anything weird about it. It's strike 3, and that's an out. So Tracy helping me out, switching the balls to the guy ball, throws a girl ball to the team, and nice little background, just kind of gets on the evening baseball, softball. Goes to Ernest, drops it in front of him. Ernest does a good job of throwing it, and he throws a rocket. Robbie throws a rocket to Tracy. Again, this is Tracy's first game back from a long time. I thought Robbie would hold it. Robbie's all like, his bat. I look at him as well. He knows. I think he just instinctively just threw it back. So no harm, no foul. But that was a rocket of a throw. Ernest gets it, touches a base, 3 outs. So Here's me, uh, bottom of the fourth. Short, just kind of waiting on my pitch. Uh, kind of be patient. So hit it, run as fast as I can. He decided not to throw, which is fine. I didn't know where I hit it. I know I hit it, and I just like took off running. So it's kind of hard for me to gauge the throw or anything like that. But I usually just have to rely on first baseman. So it's better. Again, super high. I think he's also this pitcher. I think he tries to be tricky with both the females and the girls, the guys and girls. So I don't do that. It's just preferences. But that pitch was too high. I don't know if it's illegal. I've never seen anybody call it too high, but then it hits it. I go over it. I was gonna go to third, turn back. I probably should have made it to third, but I saw nobody at third and didn't run. I was far out. I could have gone to third, made it a little bit better, but it is what it is. So probably one of the lefties' best hitters goes out, gonna tag. No, decided not to tag. So again, not a good day for hitting. So it is what it is. Sometimes, at this point, uh, I wouldn't say disappointed, but just kind of frustrated about the way the game was turning out. Some of our routine plays were not so routines, a little bobbles, a little bit drops and stuff like that. So it was Tracy. She's just mentioning that, some of the pitches, like he was trying to throw a little bit backspin, a little bit curve, in and out, or whatever the case could be. So that looked different. So hit the bait. 3 balls, 1 strike in this case. I think Tracy has a good job. I think we've played long enough to kind of be patient. So hit the blade and we get a base. So that's always good. Against Chris, good hitter, fast legs, good running. So I'm at third base, and at this point, I'm just trying to see what else what's going to happen. So hits the catcher, jumps over it. We score 1 score. I think Diana did a really good job of just going. I think I told Tracy to come to third, but I think she didn't want it. Maybe just kind of being careful and cautious, and that's always good. Better be safe than sorry than try to get an out while trying to make a play. Go to third. Comes Tim, good batter. 1 out, so ooh, got a whiff on that one. And this guy's a good pitcher, so has a few pitches up his sleeve, so got 1 strike. Ooh, strike 3 on that one. I think kind of looked like a foul ball. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. The trajectory on the ball went kind of weird, but I'll look at it later and see what's going on with that one. We're gonna take these outs as they come. 2 outs. Lucina goes up, hits it, hits a good hit to third. So again, close calls, just really, really close calls. I think he was personally safe on that one, but can't do anything about these calls. At this point, just telling everybody that we just like to play defense. So here we go. It's going to be the top of the fifth, so just kind of checking around just to make sure everybody's ready. So she hits a good ball, left center, out. One out, so that's always a good start. I think at this point, I don't know what I was thinking, but it's a good evening. You can see the nice clouds and sunset. Weather was nice. Plays weren't going our ways, but just enjoyed the fact that we got one out in the fifth. So pitcher comes up to play to bat outside. Kind of noticing that he was a little bit left of the plate. In my eyes, he's a little bit far to the right. Trying to get him on the left side of the hits it. Third again, just takes a bounce. Ernest, just I think that's the second one that went through Ernest. I wouldn't say his glove, but just takes a weird bounce. Can't make the play on it, which is fine. I don't think things were going our way today, so it's kind of apparent that we just get some lucky bounces our way. Out to next batter. Hits it up. I think to Diana, she just kind of misses it. It rolls off to the right hand side. Agostina does a really good job of getting close there and just making sure she's a backup. Off to next batter again. Unlucky, balls. Things just out of reach, out of our reach, but just a few inches, caves can be. But this case, outs, 2 outs. I wouldn't say that was routine, but definitely a challenging one. You have to attack the ball, grab it, had to toss it to first base. Again, those are always difficult. I wouldn't say they were difficult, but there's nothing routine about those. A lot of things can go wrong. Chops it, foul ball. I think I might look off to Chris, saying that he wants to pull off to left field. So I think Chris gives me the heads up that he knows. Goes to Robbie. Again, routine plays. 2 runs get in on there. Just not really feeling the vibe of the game on this one, to be honest. Where 2 outs, that could have been three outs with 2 -2 runs that were batted in. So that's the way things go in baseball and softball. So just trying to get the third out any way that we can. So not that I'm trying to be sneaky with the pitching either. So just trying to get through it. Hits it to Robbie. Out. That was kind of like a weird play. I think Diana trying to get on second base with her foot and had to readjust and might have accidentally tried. I wouldn't say tried. I think she accidentally startled the runner. So it happens. All right, we're in the bottom of the fifth, so kind of last inning. So trying to make our last stand. Uh, wasn't feeling too optimistic, but I knew we had it in ourselves to go ahead and get some runs. We've done this before, so here's the first pitch. Goes over. Oh, bobbles it and catches it. Again, I think this kind of sums up, our night. They bobbled it once and he caught it on the second attempt. So things were just kind of going their way tonight, not really going our way tonight. So went out, hit the base. Waiting for that second pitch. That's a strike, and I think I couldn't tell my sister's reaction on this one, but obviously never likes to get a strike. So third pitch. Oh, kind of struck out. That's 2 outs. 2 outs in that one. So uh, I think I think again the pitcher does a really good job of managing his pitches. I talked to Nancy afterwards. I think she was saying how the first one was a little bit like a backspin and then curveball and all that kind of stuff. So it's hard to tell. Too high on that one. So it is what it is. So I think Ernest is a really good batter. So expecting to have a good hit every time I bat. It's hit, not really a halo, but good positioning. So goes over to second. I think he's going. Slides. Could have made it third and decides not to. I think 2 outs, kind of top of the lineup. Felt really, really good about this, making a little bit of a run, push towards the very end of the game. So, uh, 2 down. So, I think I reached for that one. Just, again, I wouldn't say it's trickery, but, his pitches were really, really good. Uh, Not really too confident about myself. I wouldn't say I wasn't too confident, but just a little bit of doubt. I was like, all right, I need to go ahead and get on base. So, oh, I was really, really upset about that one, that strikeout. So that's the end of the game. You can see me kind of being upset. That's all right. Nobody was hurt. So that's the end of the game. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully next time. I'll see you next time.